What were you thinking when you were interviewing Mr. Modi?
Walking into his office, they told me that, ma'am, I hope you know, आपको हिंदी में बात करनी है.
That you may get hundreds of free products to try a sampler and to promote. Don't start using it because your skin is different. You know, it's not necessary that everything is going to suit your skin.
I wanted to be a cardiologist for a hot second when I was 14, and my mom's like, "You'll have to study till you're 30," and I was like, "No." But we also have somebody very special in the studio with us.
Is it Arjun Kapoor?
Today on the podcast, we have the brilliant duo behind the Luxe Aesthetic and Holistic Wellness Boutique Center, SkinZest, Aanchal Sethi and Dr. Noopur. Aanchal is an economics graduate from Shriram College of Commerce and also holds an MBA. She is the co-founder and CEO at SkinZest. She was the chairperson for YFLO in the year 2017-2018 and led the first ever YFLO delegation to interact with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. She is also the co-founder of Nahi Means No, a sexual awareness, safety and empowerment campaign which conducts gender-neutral workshops in schools, colleges, corporates and welfare organizations. Thank you for joining us, Aanchal.
Thank you, Stuti.
We also have with us renowned dermatologist Dr. Noopur Jain, founder of SkinZest. She is credited for bringing aesthetic dermatology, eyebrow microblading, various injectables for face sculpting, and anti-aging procedures, lasers, and hair loss therapies to Delhi NCR. With over 10 years of experience, she has treated several celebrities and has gained an indomitable reputation for treating her patients to achieve best and natural results using minimal invasive techniques. We welcome you, Dr. Noopur.
Thank you so much.
My first question is to you, Dr. Noopur, to kickstart this conversation. You believe in the less is more philosophy when it comes to aesthetic treatments. So can you please tell us a bit more about that, about your philosophy as the chief dermatologist at SkinZest?
So, when it comes to cosmetic or aesthetic treatments, there's no one-size-fits-all formula. So, every face is different. Every face needs to be treated differently. A lot of people, they tend to go in for cosmetic procedures and they, keep going for it and don't know where to stop. So I like to treat my patients with the least and the minimal procedures so that we are able to achieve natural results, results which people are not able to make out that, what has been done, but they just look fresher, feel fresher, and are able to look the best possible versions for themselves.
Aanchal, as the CEO, how would you describe your vision and mission for SkinZest?
So SkinZest had a very natural coming into being. Noopur had been practicing for almost a decade before she launched SkinZest. She had great experience all over the country and worked with multiple hospitals and doctors. And we came at a point where she realized that we need to have a full setup of our own because derma is not just about consults and you're done. You need to be with the patient, walk through the patient, get into treatments. And then she and I got talking, and basically it was my husband, Rishabh, who's Noopur's older brother as well, who kind of was instrumental in getting us together. And he said that, why don't you both join forces? Because I had also been doing multiple things up until that point. And we realized that we make a really good synergy where she brings all the medical background and I could bring, the business and the marketing and all the setup and everything could come together. So that was really very organic beginning to SkinZest when we started. And then, of course, the mission was always to make it, bigger and, to have an actual impact in people's lives. Because no matter what we say, we have a phone all the time in our hands, and we have like 4 cameras pointing us right now. You're very conscious of how you look, and how you look can change, make your day, break your day, everything.
That's true.
Absolutely.
And I want to ask you both, SkinZest, as you told me earlier, off camera, is not just an aesthetic clinic, but it is a holistic well-being center. So what does that actually encompass? How does that set you apart from other centers?
So at SkinZest, of course, we started with doing the regular derma stuff, lasers and all. But as we have moved on in our journey, we have come to realize that looking good is not just about what you're doing externally. A lot of it has to do with how you're feeling from inside, and what you're eating, how you're living your lifestyle. So that's how now the holistic wellness picture came into being. We don't treat the patient just with our skin treatments. We have a nutritionist on board. We have a mental health expert on board, so that we are able to help the patient from all aspects.
And you also mentioned there's a yoga retreat coming up at SkinZest. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, as part of all of this, the wellness aspect, we are having, on and off, we are doing a lot of wellness related events. So we are having a 5 days yoga retreat at our center from 10th to 14th of May. So that, because, your physical exercise, your yoga plays a huge role in making you feel good, look good at the end of the day. So, any of you interested, please feel free to join.
Aanchal, I know why you're laughing. You have a very interesting relationship when it comes to personal fitness, and especially the fitness posts that you post on Instagram, which are so inspirational, you have a very unique take on that. Can you please tell us why?
So my weight loss journey simply started when I had my 2 kids and I put on 20 kilos each time. And I was really looking for fun things, fun ways to work out. And somehow I stumbled upon boxing at that time. And Divya actually had an instrumental role in introducing me to that. And it's been so fun getting to learn to a new sport. And my only down low with boxing is that I can't compete. But I've spent like my last 4 years exploring all different forms of martial arts, and my only thing is, why didn't I discover it before? And as I was telling you, I post so much on my Insta. Like, I love Instagram. But
we all do, guilty.
But whenever I post anything, any of my workouts or my fitness related, and they are not even posts, they are just stories, and I will meet people even 2 months later, 3 months later, and that's the only conversation people want to have with me. So I feel like somehow fitness really affects people very intrinsically. That's why it creates such an impact to anyone who sees someone working out or someone, being fit.
Dr. Noopur, do you like how Aanchal said that we as women are so focused on our weight at any age? And that's why probably Aanchal is doing so much more. But the only thing people want to talk to her about is how she's looking and the fitness regime that she's doing. So on that note, especially after a certain age, post 35, you may be on the strictest diet, you may be exercising, but sometimes it's just very, very hard to lose the stubborn fat. So how, and I'm sure you have a lot of clients with the same query, how at SkinZest do you address that?
So at SkinZest, we try to assist you and guide you through that process so that you don't feel stuck. We have treatments which use different kinds of technologies which help in melting the fat, which help in drainage of the fat. But along with that, we have nutritional counseling. We do have someone who will help you with your fitness. So all of them work together. When people are doing just standalone things, then they don't get those kind of results. But when we work together with the patient, customize a treatment plan for them, it works fabulously.
So on that note, Slightly controversial topic, but we all know people who've had botched up jobs. And even though now Botox and injectables and other treatments are acceptable and are safe, but there's always that risk of overdoing it. For example, I'm sure you all heard Christina Gorkani, a 32-year-old model who was a Kim Kardashian lookalike. She underwent so many plastic surgeries to look like Kim that she actually had a cardiac arrest just hours after her latest surgery. So, it's really become actually a mental health crisis, even when it's coming to these surgeries. So, I just want to take both your opinions on this. That at SkinZest, how do you counsel your patients and how do you guide them so that they don't, this excessive need of overdoing these treatments is not done. Anchal, I want to hear your view on this, and especially, because you're the business head of the of SkinZest, but then it's sometimes in conflict with the business side of things, but you're in ethical practice. So, what's your take on this entire scenario?
Of people sort of overdoing it.
Yes.
So,
do you sometimes because you wear the business hat?
yeah.
Yeah.
So for sure, that is never been even like a topic of discussion between us. If we have someone that a certain treatment should not be done,
Yeah.
or if we are not confident that we would be able to give them the results that they are seeking, or whatever image that they might have in their head is not practical, there and then that stops. That is never a question. But over there is because I have now interacted so deeply with like the backside, like the people who are providing us like the machines or the equipment or the medicines and all, and I've had constant interactions with them. I've actually become the firm believer that right inputs at the right time can really change everything in terms of how your skin looks, how it feels, how it is. I've learned some technical terms also, and there are things like these nasolabial lines, or like these crow's feet and stuff. Like there are things that you can do at the right thing at the right time, and that really makes a huge difference. Even a simple thing like a hydrofacial, but getting a facial at a dermatologist clinic instead of like your regular parlor can make so much of a difference.
So, just a little scientific question for that. How bad are our electronic devices for our skin?
So the blue light which comes from the screens, it is quite damaging to the skin. So that is why we say that use sunscreen even if you're at home, because while you're at home, you're constantly in front of the screen. So make sure that you use a good sunscreen with a blue light filter, so that you can at least prevent some damage that the screens are doing. And apart from that, of course, the damage to the eyes, that's another story.
I want to, of course, SkinZest is a great success, and both of you have come together with different skill sets to come and bring SkinZest to us. Anchal, starting with you, I wanted to particularly first ask you that you were the YFLO chair for the year 2017 and 2018. Can you tell our YFLO community what was your biggest learning as chair, and what was also the biggest challenge you faced?
So YFLO, when so I had been a committee member for I think a few years before taking on as chair, and one of the most important things was just doing doing value add to our members. Everyone's joined the organization to learn something or to network.
Absolutely.
So I think getting them experiences which they would not have get in their ordinary lives, or just by being in Delhi. I think that was one of the key criteria, key concerns, key themes for my year. And the theme for my year, like how it is because she can. This year, my time it was together we transcend. So it was,
lovely.
Yeah, so it was
Yeah.
really getting everyone to come together. So we started with coffee mornings, networking, giving them experiences, getting them speakers which you wouldn't have normally have access to, and really creating you need to every year you need to keep on building that sense of community.
Yeah. And what was the challenge? Because everybody just sees the output, But there's so much that goes on, and with anything that you take, and especially at a level of being the chair of such a, of being a chair of YFLO. So I'm sure like there were some challenges you faced.
So we had the, so I feel because we are the women's wing of FICCI and we always have the FICCI brand name with us, and that's such a revered brand name across the nation, that really puts us on a pedestal. And, I really, truly felt privileged and honored to be the chairperson of YFLO. And one of the visions that I had when I started, when I took over, was to actually have an interaction with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, because YFLO Delhi, or in fact, I guess any flow chapter, hadn't really done an interaction with him as yet. So that was just getting that, having that vision, and then actually making it happen. And it literally happened in a span of 2 days that we got a call, and he's like, we have this time available for you. Can you all come? And it was really the most tremendous moment for me, working towards it, and then actually happening was definitely very, very honored and gratifying.
What were you thinking when you were sitting there and interviewing Mr. Modi? What were the thoughts going on in your head?
Actually, I don't know, not many people know. I actually had a whole script, like how you have a whole script prepared in English, and no one, like I was interacting with his office and they never said anything to me. And literally, like I think 10 minutes or 15 minutes before walking into his office, they told me that, ma'am, I hope you know, आपको हिंदी में बात करनी है.
हाँ.
And I'm like, are you kidding me? And I literally remember trying to convert my speech into, trying to convert my questions into Hindi, getting that whole thing going on. But it was, that was literally what was going on, that let me get my Hindi properly. Because we all can speak, but we need to be, when you're sitting in front of him, getting it right. But he was literally the most charismatic leader I've ever met.
Dr. Noopur, I want to ask you, what has your professional journey been before starting SkinZest, and what were the barriers you had to face, if any, as a female dermatologist?
Fortunately, female dermatologists are easier to talk to, and because as of now also there are more female patients looking for these kind of treatments, so being a female was not a barrier as far as being a dermatologist was concerned. But yes, being an entrepreneur, it was a huge barrier. It still is, but we are navigating through it. Honestly, being a professional, when we are in medical college and MD, we are just focused on our academics, whatever related to the diseases, we are supposed to learn all of that. Nobody tells us even 1% about how to run a business. So thankfully, I had her.
We have Aanchal. If she can get Mr. Modi.
For most of us, I mean, I can speak on behalf of the whole medical community that we are all lost when it comes to running a business. So that's the journey which I've had in the past, say, I think 5 years or 7 years since we started thinking about doing this. And every day is a learning experience, every day there's something new that we learn.
Yeah, but kudos to her. She's been so strong-willed. Even studying medicine for that matter, 9 years, 8 years of study of medicine is...
I wanted to be a cardiologist for a hot second when I was 14. And my mom's like, you'll have to study till you're 30. And I was like, no. But you stuck it out. But I'm sure you've got this a lot. Though you look alike so much, but you're actually sisters-in-law, and two sisters-in-law who decided to go into business together. So how did that come about? And were there funny things that you heard, like aunties tell you ki aise nahi karna, or some anecdotes about that?
Auntie, my brother telling me that aise mat baat karna, and because Aanchal is your bhabhi, your sister-in-law, if you say something to her, she won't reply back to you, but she may feel bad about it. So it was not aunties, it was my brother who kept telling me that be gentle with her.
The brother who told you to work together.
Because he later realized I am a Leo and she's a Scorpion. So
oh my God. But that's amazing. And Aanchal, from your point of view, you were like, should I do this? Should I not? How did you
No, it was
navigate that?
always very for it. But yeah, throughout the journey, we've always definitely had some issues that I've felt a certain way, she's felt a certain way, and then how we've sort of come to how to make it. Because if you think about it, the company is formed in such a way that we are actually equal partners. But then there are certain things where Noopur knows better, and there are certain things I would know better. So just finding the synergy between us that this is the right path, and coming to what is the right path, because every decision you make has consequences. So especially in a growing business like ours, where where you really want every decision of yours to be right, and you want to grow fast, or grow the right way. So yeah.
Anchal, as the COO, I want to ask you, what is your vision for SkinZest for the next 5 years and the next 10 years?
So absolutely, we've, as I said, building the right team in place, I've realized is so crucial before you have any big growth plans. In terms of the number of centers we have, I really feel it really adds to the business if you have presence in multiple locations. The other thing that I've realized is that once you get into this, there are so many parallel things that can be done, like how we figured out the holistic wellness space. There is a lot that is happening on the products side as well. I recently came back from a trip to Korea, and I realized that there is so much that is available there in terms of derma and skincare, that is still, India is still not sort of exposed to. Noopur attended a conference in Paris, and she realized that there are certain treatments that we are doing here that globally people are not even talking about. They've actually moved on. The science has advanced so much that now we are talking about human stem cells coming into and delivering really exceptional treatments. So I think the plan is all definitely to increase our presence, grow, in a way that we impact people's lives, and also explore these other new lines of business, and to be at the cutting edge, because it's all about science. There is so much being discovered. The more you learn, the more you can, give to your patients or clients.
On that note, we have a surprise guest who has roughed the Delhi traffic.
Oh, wow.
So we have Neha here.
Hi, Neha.
To add, hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Hi, welcome on behalf of YFLO and because she
you.
can.
Thank you.
And I was hearing the last few things. I was actually about to ask you guys, how much global presence do you have or thinking about? Do you want to go beyond Delhi or
Of course.
really? That's great to know. So you want to go out of Delhi? Like global is little far, but of course, do you plan to go out of Delhi?
Definitely. You would realize that the maximum number of dermatologists or skincare brands or companies are concentrated between Delhi, Bombay, and little bit in Bangalore. Rest of the country, there is it's so sparse.
People from Jaipur come to me. People from Ranchi come to me. People from Indore come to me. So I feel there is a huge need and there's a huge scope in all of these two-tier cities.
I'm so glad that you're thinking about the two-tier cities.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's actually a very untapped market.
So coming to because she can, is there anything that you feel that you still want to do, irrespective of SkinZest and the work that you're already doing? Do you think that's something else that you really want to do and you think you can?
I've always been very interested in music, so I definitely, that's been on my thing to learn a musical instrument and learn how to be a DJ.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
DJ Aanchal in the house.
Yeah, so that's been definitely been one thing on my mind. Yeah.
Oh, very interesting. And what about you, Noopur?
So I feel that, music was one of the things, and I've already started learning music. So I'm already trying to do little. Music was something which no one ever expected from me, because I've been a dancer all my life.
Oh, wow.
And I was always a bad singer.
Achha.
But I recently started learning singing, and I'm like really enjoying it. So that was one thing which I wanted to do.
You can always tell me that you would like to sit in front of TV and watch an OTT. On the OTT, you are having a Netflix series watching us. Yeah, that's fun.
I like to explore new places, new things. So I keep looking for activities, some kind of art workshop or some kind of, some musical concert. So if any of that is happening, I would love to go and attend that.
Yeah.
And I also like to declutter. So whenever it's actually kind of meditation for me. So when I get time, I try to do that. That really makes me feel good.
And so you would be coming across with teenagers and young girls who would be coming to the clinic. something on a little serious note, that I have a young daughter myself. She's currently 8, but soon she'll be entering the teen after like few years. So do you think that they are thinking about their bodies or their looks much earlier than what it
They are.
used to be from our time?
Yes, they are. In fact, my daughter's also 9. So one of her friends, mom got the daughter, and she was like, my skin is looking tanned, and there's so much pigmentation on my face. Like 9-year-old. So, and she was asking me for what are products I can use, what is the skincare routine I should follow. I'm happy that you're conscious, but I feel it's a little too early to be.
So what do you do in that case? Do you counsel them?
I think you have to advise them to eat right and eat well, because they want to eat junk. Like I remember eating like fruits and vegetables was like an a rule in that. Absolutely, like it had a day cannot pass without having a glass of soup and a plate of fruits, and that's something I think that's held me in such good stead, because I remember always having this conversation with my mom, and I was to be like, no, but cut to like 20 years, 30 years later, and you see the benefits of what you did right as a kid. So definitely, I think counseling them to eat well, eat your fruits, eat your veggies, drink your water.
We also have somebody very special in the studio with us, someone very close to you. Yeah, a surprise, who also would like to join us and ask you a couple of questions.
Is it Arjun Kapoor?
Someone better. Hello.
That's such a fabulous job. Thank you.
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you, Aanchal. Such a pleasure to have you guys here and really to talk about Because She Can. And really, I think I've been listening in, so it's been a fantastic conversation.
Yes, thank you. We've had so much fun, and Stuti and Neha were amazing.
We had a lot of fun with you too.
So, okay, I have some questions.
Okay.
We're not prepared. I like Noopur's face, Dr. Noopur's face.
Yeah, brace yourself.
Okay, this or that.
Okay.
Fillers or Botox?
There's no this or that for that. They both have their own roles to play. So
Both.
yes, both.
Oh, wow. Aanchal, boxing or strength training?
Boxing, always.
Facials or laser?
Laser.
Really?
I love my Q-switch laser, and I love my LHR. It's changed my life.
Oh God, I like that. Okay. So here's, I think a story or a question. I think growing up, I think you didn't, but we grew up with Michael Jackson, right? And we saw.
I was alive.
And there was such a transformation from what he started off with to what he became. And, I think growing up, there was always this sense of fear and with anything cosmetic. And what is your feelings on that? And especially of movie stars and film stars. And who do you think has done it really well? And who do you think is the one person who we should definitely see as an example of what shouldn't be done?
Shouldn't be done. I think recently Katrina Kaif.
Ooh.
Sorry to say that. But her cheeks were overdone, and the problem is when we're injecting to make people look like clones. That's where you need to draw the line. You need to individualize and see the person's face and structure and do the treatments according to that. And someone who's done well. I don't know if
you don't know, so you don't know. Like, if
you
it's
don't
been
get to
done,
know.
then you have no
Exactly.
idea what's
You
happened.
don't know that anything has been done. I think that's the best treatment that's been done.
Yeah, I think I have two names. One is I think Tom Cruise. Like if you see the latest Top Gun and versus what he was, if you see it, oh my God, he has nailed it. And for sure, and I'm not sure if I should say this or not, but Anushka Sharma, I don't know what she's done, because definitely she did get some stuff done, but if you look at her now, oh my God, like I just saw her yesterday cheering for Virat from the stands, and she looked spectacular.
That's amazing.
Yeah, she's done it well.
100%.
Okay, guys, but interesting point, right? You said Tom Cruise, and like makeup is for men and skincare is for men too.
Yes.
But,
Absolutely.
you know, so when I did Because She Can, a lot of people was like, why can't it be because
He
he can? So challenge as a woman entrepreneur. Like one challenge, like you're just like, if I was a guy, I wouldn't have to deal with it.
I was just thinking that how you manage your travel and your kids and this, and I was just thinking, oh my God, like Rishabh does it so easily. And then I realized a friend of mine pointed out, because he's only working and, it's juggling everything. And secondly, I think self-belief. I think we always, kind of put ourselves down, So, yeah.
I so agree with that.
Absolutely.
Thank
I
you.
think
So
that-
self-belief.
Yes.
And she can, and because she can, I think, and maybe this is something that we need to keep
Working on.
Reminding ourselves.
reminding ourselves more
Absolutely.
as
Yeah.
women, and multitasking, right?
Multitasking.
And what about you? I know you spoke about being a doctor and how it's hard to be an entrepreneur at the
I
same
think
time.
just initially, I felt being a woman, it was hard to be taken seriously. Outside your home or even inside your home, it took a very long time for people to start thinking that she's serious about what she's doing. So that was a huge challenge.
How do you change that? Like, and thank you for saying that.
Just keep
because-
doing whatever you're doing, and people will see it eventually.
And then because she can, what does that mean for you?
That we are limitless. We can and we will, and we are already doing it. There is no glass ceiling. There are no barriers. Just keep doing whatever you're doing.
Aanchal, closing words from you. What is that one message that you would give to yourself 10 years ago when you were starting out?
That's something that I read recently was, if you keep waiting to be ready, you will never start. So just start, and whatever ideas, whatever thoughts, whatever dreams you have, just, start and break it into steps instead of just seeing the end point that you want to reach. So, yeah.
Love that. So don't think, do it, and we can do it because we can. So thank you, guys. So, I think growing up again, earlier you had a few brands. You knew that you had a Lakme or, particular beauty brand that you could trust. Today is the day of D2C. You have tons of influencers who tell me a lot to do with my skin, with my hair, and how to live my life. But there are a lot of beauty products that are now being spoken about and pawned, and everyone's promoting some brand, some product, some treatment, and it's easy to become famous, popular, in trend. How do you protect yourself? Like, how do you know what works, what doesn't work? And with all these brands, how do you choose?
As an answer to your question, I do have a lot of influencer patients who come to me, and most of them are suffering from one or the other skin problem. And I just tell them one thing, that you may get hundreds of free products to try as samplers and to promote. Don't start using it, because your skin is
Right.
different. It's not necessary that everything is going to suit your skin. So just this simple change that they started making, they started feeling that the skin is much better. So that's what I want to tell the audience also, that don't believe or don't trust everything that you see on Instagram. Visit a dermatologist, get your skin analyzed, and only use products which are going to be suitable for you and your skin concerns. So
On that note, thank you, Dr. Noopur, and thank you, Aanchal. I really appreciate you for taking our time, being so candid with us. And I definitely have learned a lot. I'm sure our listeners will too. So much about two women who have an interesting relationship dynamic coming together and creating a business, and also really running it in a very ethical manner by putting their patients first at SkinZest. Before you go, just to
Is there a mug
conclude,
to sign?
we do not we do not have a mug to sign, but we do want to leave our listeners with just into inspirational lines from you. If both of you, Dr. Noopur, just a message for our listeners that end with because she can.
just believe in yourself. If you truly believe that what you're doing is right, then have no fear. Just go out there and do it because she can.
Aanchal, can we have one inspirational line from you ending with our hashtag because she can?
It's something that I've held very close always since a very long time. It's we carry within us the wonders we seek. Hashtag because she can.
That was lovely. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you, Stuti, and thank you,
Thank
Neha.
you.
That was really lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you. You are celebrity.